first time, thank you for stopping by. If you haven't, give consideration to the subscribe button. Okay, when you subscribe, smash the bell button and select the all option so that you're notified when I'm online, just like this, or when I upload a pre-recorded content. So let's see who is online. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. What's going on, man? What's up? Yeah, what's up, people? Greetings. Yes. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. So, welcome to Storytime. For those watching me for the first time, Storytime is basically a segment under the main segment called Say It Like It Is. So it's basically one where people send me their stories, any trending topics to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. My email address is in the description below. If they resonate with me, I will convert it to a live stream like this, and of course keep you anonymous. So feel free to bang me your stories or any trending topics that you'd like me to react to. What's up, Arthur from France? David Matthew from Ikorodu. Favor, I'm fine, thank you. So this story, right? This one came from one of the people that watched me. So it's a story of a gentleman who is currently in the United States. He's caught in a dilemma. There's a serious situation going on. So he used to live in Nigeria. His sister, who is like the firstborn of four siblings, left Nigeria years ago, moved to the United States. She's married in the States with kids and all that. So, whilst this guy was back home, she would, normally when you have a sibling abroad, she would come home, like sometimes it could be once in 2 years and all that stuff. So, and when she comes home, she will, do shopping, from like the States, the usual stuff, when you have a sibling abroad, right? So now, and he did mention that whilst he progressed through education, the sister also funded, his education through university at some point, following the pestering from the parents. So she paid for 2 years through university, and occasionally she would give him pocket money and all that. So sometimes when she'll come home, usually spend 2-3 weeks, go back to the States, and there was no problems. Occasionally, once in a while, over the years, she'll ask him to run errands and all that. So anyways, when he finished his degree, so he couldn't get a proper job in line with the degree that he came out with from university. So there was a time when the sister came home, had a sit down with, with the parents, and it was a case of how can you help this guy, maybe come to the States so he can perhaps be presented with, better opportunities and stuff. That's usually one of the primary reasons for traveling abroad, with the hope of he will be able to find his feet in the States and all that stuff. So, and also, like I always say, when people go abroad, it's dependent on how you traveled. If the foundation which you're standing upon is good, and I'm talking visa-wise, then you might have, hopefully, have better opportunity in future, to be able to build on top of that and hopefully become a permanent resident. So, anyways, this guy made, sat down with mom and dad and with the older sister and I think someone else. So she was reluctant at first, I've got my life and all that stuff, understandably so. But then eventually she caved in and said, okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll discuss with my husband and I'll get back to you. Okay, so they left the meeting at that. So shortly afterwards, she returned to the States, had a chat with her husband, and she broke the news and said, okay, I'm going to start processing how to bring you to the States. You can imagine the dude must have been elated. I'm going to United States of America. Yay. Happy, hopefully for a better life, right? So the sister started putting together the paperwork, the, application and all that stuff. Cut the long story short, dude was able to get a visa. Now, with reference to the email, he didn't exactly specify, the type of visa that got him into America. But all I know from the story is the sister filed for him and all that. And he found himself in the United States, Texas, to be precise. And Texas is a very big, big state in America, right? So anyway, found himself in Texas. And now, usually the first month and so, your honeymoon. So dude got to the house, said they picked him up from the airport, and he got to the house and he was happy, they called parents back home. He's landed in America, US of A, he was elated. And then the next morning, the sister's got 3 children, right? 3 children. Now, so the guy said the first a month and a half, roughly 2 months, he was just at home, he was eating, he'll get in the car with them if they're going grocery shopping, what's up, Lino? If they're going to church or they're going somewhere. Yeah, he hasn't got any job as yet. Just learning the ropes, that's the train station, that's Food Lion, that's the Amtrak's train over there, blah, 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 blah. Learning the American life, right? So 2 months became 3 months. So he said the routine was like husband and wife would disappear. In the morning, they had to go find their daily bread. And he was left alone with the kids, right? 3 of them. So he would have to babysit. He'll have to take them to school. He would have to do the washing. And sometimes it got to a point he had to handle the, bulk of the cooking. And now, he said at some point, there was a man, an African-American man, who had a lawn mowing business within the estate that the sister lived in, right? So they connected him with this African-American man who had a lawn mowing, lawn care business. So he would help follow the guide. So the whole idea was, oh, you are here in the States now, get out there, get your hands dirty, whatever you can get your hands on, start making money, right? So this man would put him in a truck. He gets a lot of work. They will go, clear the lawns and treat the front porches of people's homes and all that. So anyway, he would get paid a paltry sum, cash in hand. He was getting paid cash in hand. So as soon as he gets home, the sister would ask him for the money. And then this started from, I spent X amount of money to process your visa, to bring you in, and your flight ticket, blah, blah, blah. So he was shocked, like, huh? Like the sister didn't tell him that he has to pay back anything and stuff. So he was stunned. So as soon as he gets, like he said, the man sometimes will give him $80 cash in hand. Sometimes it could be $60. Sometimes the man would generously give him $100. It depends on the amount of work, but it was hard work. They had to clear a lot of debris. They had to move stuff, help him carry equipment, and really tedious job. Some days you might just get like $20, right? After working hours. Now, so as soon as it gets indoor, the sister would have phoned up the African American man. It's like they know each other. How much did you pay him? He would tell the sister. So as soon as he enters, walks through the door, she demands the cash. So dude felt bad. We're like, wow. So this feels like extortion. So one day he felt bad and he asked his sister, like, why are you taking all the money? Like, you didn't say you were going to be doing this. So she was like, oh, you live in my house, I'm feeding you, I'm clothing you, blah, blah, blah. So he then said, but wait, if you had spoken to me in terms of, I don't mind contributing, but you're really taking everything that I'm getting. This job is tedious enough and all that stuff. So she was yelling at him, if you don't like it, get the hell out of my house, knowing fully well the dude hasn't got options, right? So they gaslit him, got on the phone, told the parents back home that this dude is now getting confrontational. And he said in the email that he was never confrontational to his sister. So the long and short was, she was extorting and taking all the money and all that stuff. Now, there was a day that he kind of gave out a face-off, proper face-off, that enough is enough. He said he had $180. So, and then the husband jumped out of the bathroom. The next thing, oh, if you stand up to my wife, I will break your jaw. I will hand you to the authorities. I'll get you deported. I'll make sure they get your fingerprint. You never step into the US again. You would never step into Europe. You would never step in. So these put a lot of fear into this guy. He said he was shaking like, whoa, what the hell? So the mask came off and they were extorting him, taking all his money. So the sister was yelling, oh, I spent thousands of dollars, to bring you to the States. Now, he challenged their thought process and said, you didn't say back home that I was going to pay you, but okay, can you at least help me to find a better job and so I can earn properly and stuff? He was already thinking, I can no longer live here. So then he realized that, oh, hang on, she's in charge of my passport. So he asked her and said, can I have my passport? She wouldn't give him his passport because the passport has his visa and all that. And basically said, whatever job I put you into, you must do it and all that. So the main thing, apart from the job that this guy was doing, he was forced into working lengthy hours with the children. He would be the one to clothe them, wash them, cook, take them to school, go get them from school, do the cooking, wash the plates. The oldest of her children being 11. Somebody said, couldn't he conceal the money? You don't understand when people are living under difficult circumstance. You are in the West. You don't have options. You don't have anywhere else to go. You have a sibling who is clearly mean. You have I'm going on with this. You think it's just easy for people to just say, I'm going to conceal my money. This is not Africa. You're living in the West. You get what I'm saying? So before he left Nigeria, the agreement was she was going to bring him to the US, get him to further his studies and all that stuff. And, so he can find his footings and be able to progress and then be able to go on with his own life and all that. That's what he was told. So they basically are using him as a slave. He was babysitting. And then he said it got so bad with the babysitting that the sister had told a couple of other women in their church. They also live in the suburb area that they lived. So without telling this guy, so those ones will come and dump their children as well. It says sometimes it will be at home with up to 7 children. You understand? And so they confiscated his passport. And so when he rang the parents back home, and basically the parents said they called him ungrateful. Um, the argument was you're getting free accommodation and food and all that. So they took sides with her, right? And they will they took sides with the sister, and they would tell him that, if he gets kicked out of that house and anything happens to him and immigration picks him, it's always immigration threat. So dude couldn't, yeah, he would have sometimes up to maximum of 7 children. Yeah. I know that too well. That's actually very common in the Black community. I've said this before for those that have been watching me for a minute. When people know that you are vulnerable, they will pile on and take advantage of you. That happens every day. And I'm talking within the Black community. When they know that you're vulnerable, it's just the wickedness that's deeply rooted in our people. It happens all the time. Honestly speaking, let people know that you haven't got papers. You're working somewhere, or you're reliant on someone else's identity to survive and stuff like that. They will trash you. They will absolutely let you have it. It happens all the time. Siblings or not, family or not, they will take advantage of you all the time. Yeah. So anyways, dude said he started doing school runs. It got so much being busy with it. He said some of these other parents, they'll give him sometimes $20 for looking after 2 children for the whole day. $20. Did you hear what I said? They couldn't do that with a licensed childminder. He actually said one of them is actually a pastor. This is not a dig, hand on my heart. This is the story. They'll give him, sometimes they give him $30, and so the husband, they were just maltreating him, siphoning money. So it took him a while before he could understand, there's that cultural shock. He was in fear. He wasn't in he wasn't in possession of his passport and all that. Now, there was somebody advised him to go speak to immigration, but some other people dissuaded him and said he may end up getting deported. And, oh, this is going to do X, Y, Z to the family, blah, 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 blah. So imagine you're caught in the middle of wildfire. You're caught in the middle of crossroads here. If you go speak to authorities, bear in mind, authorities, they're not emotionally involved. They're not connected to your family. Sometimes they are wearing their professional hats. They have to do what they have to do in accordance with the law. In fact, most times. So they might just snatch you right there and say you are in the US illegally or blah, 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 blah. And they can fling you out. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a difference between, oh, you're looking after a bunch of kids and you're well paid for giving those hours and looking after people's children. No, man. It's not even unique to the Nigerian community. I can talk about Nigerian community because I'm Nigerian, but it's prevalent in the Black community. Like I said, when people know that you have a particular vulnerability, particularly when we're talking about immigration challenges or things like that, they will take advantage of you, man. For females, there'll be the sexual demands from all sorts of, Terrible people. Thank you, Mbali. Thank you, Freaky, your account. Keep up the amazing, amazing work. Thank you for the super chat. You can actually get his paper because he's a victim of crime. Yeah, of course. So this is where it lies, right? Some people are telling him that he should go speak to authorities. There's a group of other people that are dissuading him. And I can understand if you're caught in the middle of wildfire and you don't know what to do, you're very new in the country, there is emotion, emotional roller coaster, and people are telling you don't do this, some people are telling you do this, you have fear. So the sister, the long and short, what I picked from this story is his older sister brought him to the US under what I call fraudulent misrepresentation. And I believe that the parents were in on it. You understand? I believe their parents were in on it. So one mulonat is lo shishe or modoni. The parents were in on it. That's why as soon as he complained, he repeatedly complained, they disregarded his position, his concerns. They were in on it. It's really sad because he made a particular point. The sister sends monthly upkeep to the mom and dad. So to forward do you see what I'm saying? She sends them monthly upkeep. They're chewing on that monthly upkeep with both sides of the mouth. So basically, their judgment is fundamentally flawed. Oh, I know of Filipinos who get to come to North America and their sponsor dump at least 10 ton, 15 of them in a 3-bedroom house and collect anywhere from 300 to 500 a month as pay back for the sponsorship. Oh, that happens a lot. Oh, somebody said he should at least try and steal his passport. I'm sure if he sees his passport or if he knows where the passport is, he'll be able to grab it and run, but he can't. He said from what he discovered, the passport is with the husband, and he doesn't know. So there's been times when they've left they've left home and he's tried to go into their room, but the bedroom door is locked. He should go to New Jersey. It's a sanctuary state, if you say so. He will have to implicate them. Do you know, I can understand sometimes when you want to go off and get that judgment against people that are maltreating you. You see, for example, if he says he's being forced to look after children and things like that, and there's a layer of people involved, they may end up losing their children. That's why some people would then start saying, "Oh, no, don't do that. Don't go da." People try to advise you in a very selfish way for you to adopt or carry on accepting that ill treatment. Do you understand? It's a transaction. They should just go to Nigerian embassy and go back home. Life is precious. Oh, well, family abroad is like a stranger you don't know because they act funny and wicked. Families are the worst. The wearing probably sending his money back home as if it's theirs. If I'll faint in the street and they'll have to produce the passports in the hospital as ID. People have got ideas. So, well, in the final part of the email, he said, there's a lady who is a Cameroonian. She's American and she's helped him. She's linked up someone who's like an immigration expert. So he's currently in talks with them. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he might be able to find a way out. The lesson in there is, it's amazing. You would think sometimes, and somebody was telling me this the other day, about how someone else in the UK, how a particular lady. Oh, hold on. This story is definitely one-sided. I had a sister I brought here that thought she's supposed to pocket her money, and my sister is supposed to buy all she needs. Regina, let me tell you, the story is not one-sided. The story that you've just given us a snapshot is totally different. Okay? So I want you to be open-minded. Don't be quick to condemn people because you had your own personal experience. It's a totally different conversation. Check this out. And I agree with, if somebody comes to live with you, yeah, and they think they can just have a free flow, they are working, they are adequately earning, and they think they can just carry on living in your house and be eating, enjoy your electricity, enjoy your gas, enjoy your TV, your warm bedroom, or whatever, right? And they're not even contributing a dime. I understand that. If you say, listen, man, you're working full time, you're earning money, can you contribute X amount towards the rent, or can you help with some of the bills or food shopping? And then they think, oh, because I'm your sister, oh, I shouldn't give you a dime, and then you throw them out. That's justifiable. It's totally different from this. Okay, I don't think you're aware of the complexity that abounds within the Black community. There are plenty of people that they've brought abroad. There, even here in the UK, there are landmark cases where people have been prosecuted and found guilty by the UK government. There was one a few years ago before the pandemic started, a Nigerian couple. They were both medical doctors working for the NHS. They brought this lady from Nigeria under false pretense. They lied to her, gave her a totally different impression. As soon as she got here, they confiscated her passport. They locked her in the basement of their home. They wouldn't let her go out. There was even allegation of sexual abuse from the man. They were both top-level medical doctors here in the UK. They forced her into slavery. They were using her to raise their children. They ended up getting exposed and they ended up in prison. They lost their practicing license and they were both jailed. And there are plenty of cases like that. You understand? These people are so evil that they go and bring someone and they want to confine them in within the walls of the house. They don't want them to go out. You wouldn't even use a phone. You can't go and see a friend. They've brought you over 7,000 miles down here just to wash plates, look after children. They didn't tell that person from back home. There wasn't a mutual agreement. Yeah, share you for me. That's just one story. There are plenty of them like that. It's slavery. So like what that lady was saying earlier, that's totally different. If somebody lives with you and let's say you help them, sibling or not, with accommodation, and they are now earning, they get a job, they are earning nicely, and then you say, hey, okay, maybe you contribute £200 a month or £300 towards this, and they think, oh, because it's my sister's house, I'm not going to pay a dime. If they are being unreasonable and they're trying to be a leech or parasite, kick them out. They are working, go get your own space and pay your bills. Simple as that. So that's different from this one. Somebody brings you here, they confiscate your passport. You don't even know the type of visa that brought you here. They confiscate your passport and they find you a dodgy job with some guy with a lawn mowing business, and they're collecting all your money. They're dumping children on you, their friends' children, and paying you peanuts. It's intentional. That's why I said that the guys, their parents are probably in on it. You understand? The worst thing is multiple people know about this and are doing absolutely nothing. I would expose these diabolical people immediately. Thank you, N. You see, the point I'm trying to extract from this, the complexity and bias that come from within immediate families, they're absolutely deadly. You'll be surprised. Sometimes parents are they are at the pinnacle of affairs. You see what he said? The sister is always sending monthly upkeep to the mom and dad. So every time he runs to them over the phone to complain about the ongoing ill treatment, they shut him down faster than the speed of light. They are on the payroll of the said sister. They are no longer parents, they've become prime enemies now. You understand? They also are threatening him from back home. If you get deported, that's the end of your life. If you get thrown back to Nigeria, don't come to this house. You are finished. You are ungrateful. If we had known, we wouldn't have asked her to take you. The parents are just happy that the son has joined his big sister in the States, regardless of the. Of course, what I'm saying is the arrangements, they knew. So he even said, the dad said, so what? If they give you 10 children, you should look after them happily against his will. You understand? So there were people dissuading him from talking to authorities. You know what they're saying? Oh, if you go and report your sister, it's going to affect their jobs. It's going to affect their lives. It's going to affect their children. They'll get in trouble with authorities. It's going to affect their friends, families, and their children. Do you see what I'm saying? And one of the things that I detest the most within the Black community is this bias. They will find a way to get into your brain and use emotional blackmail. You understand me? And try to convince you and even tell you to be grateful, to tell you to be grateful, be thankful, and say, "Oh yeah, they've favored you by bringing you to the States." Do you understand? So the long and short is they are talking to your subconscious to find it acceptable that you're being maltreated and be thankful. It's a Stockholm syndrome to accept the ill treatment from your abusers and stay there with them. Favor that it brought him to United States to be grateful to abusers and mistreatment. Yeah, that's why some people live with family members abroad and they ended up maybe as young teenagers, young kids. They ended up being subjected to sexual abuse by uncles or aunties or people that have brought them abroad or guardians. And within the family circuit, it's prevalent in the Black community. There are people that will put efforts to suppress it. Some parents are even aware that their son or their daughter was violated by their uncle, who is their own brother, and all that. They will suppress it because they are much more interested in the stupid family tree. The plight of that child is totally disregarded. Oh, because he paid for your post-secondary school examinations or whatever, and he brought you to England, so you've got to be grateful. In fact, in some cases, the religious nut jobs, they will tell the child that, oh, you are demonic by calling out your uncle as an abuser. Basically, keep your mouth shut, bend over, and take it. You know what I'm talking about. They should pay him, of course. They would turn around and say Ian is certified childminder. Of course. So a couple of people were in there. I think I clocked your comments. It's actually very common. I think now in the UK, because of the past convictions and prosecutions against people that had been caught severally by the state, there are people that are still doing it. But in our community is sort of slowed down a bit. It's not even a bit, it's slowed down quite a lot. And then it's the fear of the repercussion. Like I said, there was a landmark story, the doctors. They lied to that lady in Nigeria that, oh, you're just going to come and live with them, help them part-time, just, oh, yeah, sure, we'll help you build your life. You have a good life in the UK. As soon as she landed, they confiscated her passport. She was trapped in that house. They wouldn't let her step out. Just look after the children, look after the children. They maltreated her, they violated her. Yeah, two different doctor families. There's another one a few years ago of a Ghanaian couple that did the same. They were busted. The husband actually works in the government department. I think Ministry of Defense, or I don't remember now. He had a top job. They went to Ghana. They went to bring that innocent 19-year-old lady from some village in Ghana. They lied to the family. They actually said the girl's uncle, who was like the father figure, because the girl's dad died when she was younger, the girl's uncle was reluctant. He pressed them and pressed them and pressed them and said, are you sure you're going to look after this girl in England? They tried to give them gifts, right? Some of the poor family members accepted it. The uncle was reluctant. He didn't accept any monetary gift. He said, they said, oh, this, we're going to look after her. They brought her to the UK and she was violated. They pushed her into sex trafficking. They pimped her. So it turned out, so that girl's case opened a can of worms. So these people in the front end, they had top-end jobs. They live in a very good part of the UK. They had good jobs. The guy works, I think, Ministry of Defense. Can't remember now. He had a top government job. The wife, too, I think, worked for a local authority. But what they did on the ground was they basically were bringing in young ladies and pimping them for money. They commodified them for, sexual gratification, and they were making money off them on a daily basis. And they had been doing it for years. It's a massive network. And that one girl, Orieli, that girl opened a can of worms and exposed them. Why is it that doctors are the people doing this kind of... No, a few doctors have been caught, but it's not unique to doctors. I think, it's probably coincidental that it's just, a couple of doctors have been caught, but trust me, it's not career specific. It's just human beings with very dark mindset, criminal mindset, that will subject another human being to slavery and inhumane treatment for their own selfish, benefits, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's not unique to doctors. It's sad, really. It's sad, but it happened. He can't just walk away. If someone sponsors you, US, you have to be in contact with them until your residency process is complete, unless you can get legal help to show abuse by your sponsor. That's why there's somebody helping him now they've put him in touch with a lawyer. So hopefully, maybe they are bitter with life because they're forced to study medicine by their parents. That's not a justification for enslaving another human being. I don't get it when Nigerians use Ghanaians as examples when dealing with their issues. Instead, the most outrageous and barbaric act are most fun. Sounds of Ghana. Nigerians use Ghanaians as example. Dude, what is wrong with you, man? Let me stop you right there, okay? Let me just talk to you before I block you. Look, I don't do that Nigeria, Ghana, or Nigeria versus Cameroon, or Nigerian versus Gambian nonsense, okay? I'm a man with an emancipated mindset. I'm a Pan-Africanist. You understand me? If a Ghanaian has done something, we're looking at it objectively. It has nothing to do with the nationality. Do you understand? If a Nigerian has done something, we'll talk about it. Whether good or bad, we're talking about it objectively. So this is not about poking fingers at Ghanaians and all that. Don't come on, man. Let me block you. I don't want idiots like you on my platform. All right? We don't do that nonsense here. All right? Free your mind, my brother. There is more to life, man. Unless we are joking, like we're talking about Ghanaian jollof or, Nigerian jollof, in good spirit, we're having a laugh. Wadimaya is a successful Ghanaian on this platform, one of the most successful black content creator on this platform. Wadimaya is friends with a lot of Nigerian content creator, Kenyan. He's a Pan-Africanist like me. Okay, you get what I'm saying? He's a guy that I love and respect. I've been on his platform. Over here, we don't do that crap, man. All right? If you got personal issues, I hope you get help. We don't do that nonsense here. There are fantastic Ghanaians everywhere. Interestingly, there's a Ghanaian midwife that I know, in King's College Hospital in London. There's so many lovely Ghanaian people, the lovely, fantastic Nigerians. In every community, you find jerks. So, you know what I'm saying? All those people that want to come here with nationality battles and all that nonsense. All these barriers that you've adopted in your head. Like what was that stupid guy with the big lips from Ghana, Shatawale guy, that's trying to create that Ghanaian rap artist that wants to create division, right? There were even other Ghanaians that got up and spoke against him. The barriers that we have amongst us as Africans that were created from generations ago and has destroyed the mindset of a lot. It's actually very difficult traveling within Africa amongst African countries. We don't like ourselves. We create unnecessary barriers. We are all the same. We are all the same. I'm a proud Pan-Africanist. I don't believe in that nonsense. But maybe I can go to Kenya and some Kenyans don't like me just because I would say I'm a Nigerian. They have preconceived notion. You dig? If you tell me you're a Ghanaian, I'll just embrace you. I say, what's up, brother? Etisien, you dig? There are lovely Ghanaian ladies on here who are absolutely lovely people that watch me. We don't do that crap here, man. That's why I blocked you. Go and wash your brain and go and say some prayers and have a lie down. Yeah, that's how xenophobic attack starts, of course. Hey, Audrey. When Kanye said slavery is a choice, this is a typical example of one. I feel the guy is fully aware that he's being used as a slave. He can walk away if he wants to, but he's trying to. No. Somebody said he can walk away. I don't think some of you understand this. When you're living in the West, we are... Think about the complications around the type of visa he might have traveled with. Do you understand? There's layers of complexities, man. Oh, people think, oh, you can just wake up and just walk away like that. Thank you, Rita. That's why he's getting immigration advice, help from an expert so they can guide him. You understand? When people say, oh, you should just get up and go. Really? Let me tell you this. There was an article that I read. I read a few years ago. This was before the pandemic started, yeah? There was a guy, I think it was from Cameroon or something. He was being subjected to inhumane treatment, yeah? He was living with someone. This was a few years ago. I remember reading it online. So he had enough. He had evidence on a USB stick. I think he managed to film some footages and all that. He went to the local police station He was crying for help. A friend followed him. He took the USB stick. He had the footages to show the police of how they've been maltreating him, enslaving him for a long time. The police that conducted the interview, the police officer, gave assurances and said, wow, I empathize with you. We will get to the bottom of this. Justice will be served, okay? Go home, keep your head down, don't say anything. We will do this, we will do that. A few days later, they invited that guy for an interview. But unfortunately, his friend that accompanied him the first time was at work. So dude picked the call and told the police officer, when do you want to see me? And the officer said, oh, if you can come over now, we just want to go through, some of your witness statement with you. You know what they did? They ran what I call complaint dismissal fraud against him. Instead of the police, who are the law enforcement officers, to help this guy adequately, you know what they did? They grabbed him right in the middle of the police station, handed him to immigration authorities, and that was the end. Before it could blink, it was in Lagos. The story kind of went semi-viral at the time on Twitter and stuff, but it didn't gain traction. It was just buried, gone. It happens all the time. What can you do? You're by yourself in another man's land. You have no support. You went to the police. You gave them evidence on a USB stick. They disregarded your evidence. They connived with another government department. They've looked at it like, this black guy, why should we help him? Put him on the next flight, man. They deported him. He couldn't even get to pick one shirt. You understand? Sometimes, thank you, no papers, you have no recourse and all that. Thank you. Kimla said he can't walk away without a passport and visa. It's so much deeper than that. He's actually trapped until he gets the proper assistance. He's dealing with some very manipulative people. Absolutely. If the authorities can't find his visa or his passport, they can sell a totally damaging narrative to the U.S. Immigration officers and lie, and they've got U.S. citizenship, right? They can create a totally different narrative, and then the officers are going to be like, well, where is your passport? Where is a visa? Can't, put this guy on the flight, man. It's easier for them. They'll bang him out, man. Don't forget, these are the same U.S. immigration authorities that strip mothers away from their children. So sometimes when we talk about human right, the authorities, they know what human right is, but they really do have a blatant disregard for it. This is the unfortunate part of human beings. The European enslaved Africans, Chinese enslaved the Germans. It's man's humanity against. My point is that he's trying to benefit from the visa, despite the visa being a non-immigrant visa. I'm saying this from personal experience. What do you want him to do, Adeyemi? The good way to go about is through lawyers. The cops are not helpful at all. Of course, Helene, that's exactly what I'm saying. A lawyer, that's if the lawyer is good to you, if they are genuinely on your side, they look through the situation on ground, they're able to grab hold of evidences of, ill treatment, and they can wrap it around their expertise and all that stuff, then you may stand a chance. You dig? If the lawyer gets a brown envelope from the state, they can sabotage your position. Lawyers are like Marmite. There's a love and hate relationship with lawyers. Lawyers, mangbabo, they go. Lawyers, if they fight your corner, they are the best. If lawyers sell you out, you're done. Especially if you're totally reliant on them and they know that you have limited understanding of what's going on. Ooh, Whew, my goodness. Lawyers, they will throw you on the train tracks, man. You should just open an account back home and save his money and then report them to the law. Oh, well. A lot of lawyers ain't on your side either. That's exactly what I'm saying. Lawyers are the worst. You know why they are corrupt like that? Because their practicing certificate is controlled by the state. Who is the state? The organized criminal network. So a lawyer's number one duty is to the state. So if you have matters against the state, you tend to be snookered. I'm a victim of this type of circumstance. I'm a Nigerian, was doing well both in my academic and philanthropic work in my community until political issues threatening my life in my search for escape. So yeah, these are the same kind of folks that abuse their house helps in Nigeria brutally, man. Oh, don't get me started. So that's the story, man. There's a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel because he's found someone, a lady who's linked him with a lawyer. Let's hope. Let's hope. He said he's had the first meeting with a lawyer, which was productive. He was asked to provide certain things, and he said he's got some evidences. So let's hope that. But yeah, if you're going through that situation, keep your head up. The best thing I can advise you on a final note is if you're, I don't know who you are. There's nearly 500 people watching. You know, especially in the diaspora, the people have different conditions and stuff. Gather evidence, gather evidence, gather evidence. And for those of you that are contemplating on traveling, this is what I've been saying. So one thing to be excited that you're going somewhere, do your homework, know exactly what you're stepping into. So many people have gone missing this way. So many people they've gone somewhere hoping to have a shiny, well-transformed life, and then they go from frying pan to fire. They get trafficked. In the worst case scenario, they die, and that's the end, you know? People are evil, man. So get knowledge. Don't do sentiments. Get knowledge. Hi, Phrankleen. I just missed the story today, but I will watch it on your playback. Tanzanadian. Lawyers take money from both directions. That's right. Many of us come here through visiting visa, which is meant for a temporary stay. Then we want to stay permanently. It comes with some repercussions. The main problem is the visa type. You are right, Adeyemi. Do you know there are people that of their own volition, they pay travel agents back home, they obtain the wrong visa with the hope that Jesus will miraculously sort them out. And then they get trapped when they get to the West. There are also people that they're totally oblivious. They may be younger. Certain person claims to want to help them. They take advantage of them. They haven't got a clue. They process it for them. They bring them here. And then they get here. They get trapped. This is an example. Do you understand? Phrankleen, I'm eager to learn about your travel services. May I email you regarding this? Eli Jacobs. Yeah, send me an email, man. foodchannel1960@gmail.com. So that's the story. If you haven't, follow me on Instagram at Phrankleen, as it's spelled on my channel. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If I'm able, I might be able to catch you online again tomorrow. If not, that will be on Monday, all right? Thank you very much. Oh, Isla. Is it Isla? Right. Okay. Isla Jacobs. Isla. Forgive me. Thank you. Thank you for dressing objectively like that. Amongst ourselves, we must critique these issues as well. On a final note, if you are out there and you have people living with you and you know that they are vulnerable and you are taking advantage of them sexually, monetarily, you're taking advantage of them based on their complex immigration status, and you think it's happening for you right now, may the universe find you and absolutely destroy you. May the universe find your children and absolutely destroy their lives. If you are taking advantage of any woman because they haven't got papers, or because they are homeless, or because they're a single mom, and you think you're in a better position, or because they've got immigration complexities, or they are near homeless, and you're using that, or you're using them for sexual gratification, may the universe come down heavy on you and absolutely destroy and expose you. If you are using other people's children, enslaving them to take care of your own children, you're trampling on their rights and you're enjoying it and you won't stop. May the universe deal with you accordingly. Ashia Kuribe. I'll catch you in the very next one. Peace and love, man. Bye-bye.